Oh, the good old country fish fry. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it's a nice rainy day here in the great state of North Kakalaki. Apparently some hurricanes coming through, but this is probably one of my favorite places in all of North Carolina right here, the good old country fish fry. So this line is wrapped around the building, but since I'm sitting here waiting for my fish, or actually for a chance for me to even get to it, I might as well make me a video, so let's get to it. Yo, what is good, what is good, what is good, beautiful folk? Good dot back again once again. With an instant classic, ladies and gentlemen. First time to the channel, subscribe, notified, do all of the things that would make me happy, alright? So here's the rules, guys. Here's what's going on. Oh, that's the owner of the country fish fry. She over there, she a cute little thing. I don't know what she is. Anyway, one of the reasons that I've found that a lot of guys date abroad simply because it's just cheaper, okay? Why they choose to have relationships and women abroad simply because it is cheaper, all right? Let me move with the line because the line's moving. Now, let me define cheaper for the most part. Okay, there I have a subscriber. I will not say his name, I will not give his details, but he is from the United Kingdom, all the way from some part near London. I didn't even know I reached over there, and that was why I was kind of like happy that I did have an audience, you know, in different parts of the world. So when he was talking to me, you know, he was explaining his situation, and he was talking about the money that he sends per month, you know, to help out his young lady. And, you know, I'm not going to get into the details of his situation, but for the most part, sometimes it depends on your situation and your status, of course, but there's always been the topic of conversation about sending money, right? So looking over his numbers, because he keeps a spreadsheet and all this shit, I think is awesome, about what he sends and stuff, you know, just to keep track. His numbers never breached $1,000 a month. Now, that's a lot of money. I'm not going to sit there and act like $1,000 isn't a lot, but imagine if you were dating somebody in the United States or in the Western world, how much money you would probably spend on that young lady if they were of the same attitude, behavior, etc. I mean, dating a young lady that is of similar qualities as that of somebody in the United States. Trust me, it'll be way more than $1,000. You dig? So that's what really intrigued me about this topic of conversation. It's just cheaper to date abroad, man. Cost of doing business, the cost of doing anything is just cheaper. I'm not talking about sex pad activities, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just talking about a relationship in general. How you can send probably $500 a month, 25K Philippine pesos-ish, give or take, and still come out relatively unscathed. A lot of guys wipe their ass with that kind of money. That right there is probably a pair of Jordans, people. That right there is probably what? I don't know. What else costs $500? I just never spent that kind of money. I think it's ridiculous. But, you know, for the most part, $500 is really not a lot. You kind of spend that stuff, if you have a decent job, of course, you would probably spend that on something of a leisure activity. So you could drop that and be good, and it won't hurt your pockets in the long run. But I kind of noticed that, you know, dating in the United States, I mean, granted, during the pandemic times, you're not really going out to eat too much, but still, people still do online shopping, Amazon and stuff like that. So you're still gonna spend probably not a lot in food and stuff, but you're gonna spend in probably other areas, DIY projects in your house or some shit like that. So one way or another, whether it's a little bit more or a lot bit more, you're gonna find a way to spend the money that you normally would before this whole thing started happening. So imagine being in a relationship with a young lady in the Philippines and the same situation hit. She can't go nowhere, you can't go nowhere. I'm hoping that this is a very fruitful relationship where you both benefit from it. Of course, I'm just speaking out loud, but opinion-wise, I'm just not seeing there being any comparison between being in a relationship in the States, money-wise, and how we can compete with being in a relationship with somebody overseas. And I'm only basing this off of my personal experience, number one, and listening to stories from other guys. Because there are guys who send money overseas. We can have that debate all day long, whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it. Nobody really gives a shit whether you agree or disagree. They're going to continue to do what they do simply because that's what they're going to do. But if you think about it out loud, you save probably a whole lot more money with a relationship abroad than you would in the United States of America. Now, again, dealing with young ladies who have their own jobs, their own professions, blah, 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 that is also a factor, a variable to be included in this. There's a lot of different factors and variables, but let's just say, hypothetically, that you're dating a girl in the U.S. and that she doesn't have a job, she can't contribute to the relationship that way. You're dating a woman in the Philippines, she can't contribute to you in any other way, shape, or form, blah, blah, blah. You put all those factors into this particular scenario, you're going to come out a whole lot cheaper with the lady overseas than probably the one in the United States. Just my thoughts, man. You can share and say what you believe to be accurate in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Good Doc ranting and raving about nothing. Just wanted to have this dialogue. Do you believe that most guys date abroad simply because it's cheaper? I do have to ask that question. Do you guys think that these gentlemen date abroad simply because it's just cheaper to be that way? It's just cheaper overseas. Because regardless, you're not going to lose as much money as you would dating somebody stateside. And that has been my rant, my rave. Whether you agree or disagree, comment down below. I'm going to drop the mic and walk the hell away. All right? With that being said, the Good Doc is officially out. At least nakopa alam, which means gotta go. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Mawa kita. Mabuhay. Peace.